Tonight's episode is something that we like to call a little bit spooky.
Spooky? What is that? It's usually scary stuff.
The rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole. So what is the rabbit hole?
So, rabbit hole is basically when we get stuck in and you do a deep dive, get into whatever particular subject or conspiracy theories.
Right.
And you just...
Things, whatever it might be.
It just gets in and you're just stuck on it.
This is almost like watching the ghost chases and all that stuff.
Right.
When you read this.
Right.
You know what I mean? It kind of has that kind of vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes,
In that
exactly.
sense. It does that as well, but it does because it touches on everything. These
Right.
guys. You know,
So is a rabbit hole a website?
oh yeah, it's
Yes.
crazy.
So
it's a website.
A popular user created a website that became famous for the collection of strange, creepy, conspiracy-driven, and downright bizarre content. It is
like
the sort of a dark
creepypasta.
corner of the internet where you do find.
Right.
Where you would find.
Yeah. So that's like what I was talking about earlier, like before we started, like, you know, but like a lot of that stuff, I think some people, like it's written intentionally to look real, like as a conspiracy theory. So when you read it, it has that real element, kind of like Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like, what do they call those, that genre of horror? I forget what it's called.
I don't know, but it scared the shit out of me.
Like,
I thought it was real.
Found film. It's
Found film, right, yes.
footage.
Right.
So it's kind of got the found film footage. It's intentionally supposed to look real to make it more scary, but I think what some people might stumble upon and not realize it, like you know what, someone like goes to the Onion, you know, the fake news,
yes,
and it's like jokes, but like some people will share it and they'll think it's real because they don't realize it's a parody,
right?
So this is like a horror parody, as where it's like intentionally,
but this
look like fake, like you know what I mean? Where
but it's not all that. I mean, there is stuff.
There's other stuff. Yeah,
there's some real stuff
things,
in there too.
But but like what you're saying, so like with the Blair Witch Project. So before the movie came out. And I like watching the History Channel when they have the, talk about urban legends and stuff like that. Right. They played it on like the History Channel, and they did that the Blair Witch was real. So that then I thought that it was something not, I want to say real, not like there was really some, witch running around through the woods, but that it was a real urban legend. I didn't know that it was just the movie. When I saw it. So here I am, fresh out of like city area, and I'm watching it up in the country.
In the boonies.
Bro, I heard everything. I was scared. I was like, what's that? Who's that? The kids are sleeping with us. The kids are, come here, kids. So it got me, but that's when you, like you said, you fall into the rabbit hole because they had like 2 or 3 different conspiracies. I was stuck on it.
Right.
Now I'm watching those haunted things rise.
But it's got to remember it's a movie. In that case, you got to remember it's a movie. But that happened to me with Evil Dead. That happened with Evil Dead.
Yeah.
That movie totally blew my mind.
But yeah, so there was different stories we were going to talk about.
Right.
Yep. And I remember, like, one of them is what you say, the channel that watches back.
Right. On YouTube.
So how does that work?
Let's listen to what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like, so I don't know if this is similar, but there was a scam going on for a while. I just wanted to talk about real funny. It's kind of similar to this, is that there was a scam going on for a while where they would send like emails to you. Like it would be like, because a lot of people watch adult content, right? So like, it's just like, the chances of
not everybody,
but not everybody, but the chances are that they're going to find you. And it was like, we watched you, pleasure yourself to pornography, and we got it all on video. We put your camera on.
They do that sex thing,
and it'd be like, if you don't pay us so and so, we're gonna send
they blackmail you. They blackmail you.
Like on your email list. So like you think of everybody you have on your email list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'd be like, oh my god, that's real.
Yeah.
Like just because. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they got somebody I know. They got him into that.
So people fall for it. That was a scam.
That was crazy. Well, then go ahead. You had one.
No, I want him to finish up what he was saying about the YouTube. What they mentioned about YouTube on this.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be like while you're watching like this is like another story. Like while you're watching like YouTube or whatever, like you're being watched back.
That's insane,
through
bro.
your camera. You know what I mean, or something like that.
See. Yeah, now that's the crazy part because they had they had the one guy. I never saw it.
No, what were you saying?
I never saw that video.
No, but like there is kind of some truth in that when you think about it.
About what?
That you're being watched back. When you use social media, you're not being watched per se as someone's watching the video of you.
But something is responding back.
How long you're watching.
Right.
Like they actually have it by the millisecond, how long you looked at a certain post. And then that algorithm like dishes out similar.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing.
Like something.
It's crazy.
It's just the fact that you stopped and looked.
Watched it.
It goes, oh,
yeah.
He likes that.
And you know what?
Send him more.
It's funny you said that, bro, because I look at sneakers.
Yeah.
So when I go onto like my internet search,
right.
when I open it up again later, it's giving me the latest story on the particular sneakers I was looking at. And I was like, ooh. So now when I open them up, that's how I started to show you when we got here. I'm like, oh, these are sneakers I was trying to get. And then we started doing something else. So we fell off flying off my sneakers. But yeah, dude, it's that. But now,
so that was like,
algorithm.
So this is like, but this is like a guy. So the story though, on this though, is like the guy finds a random YouTube channel, just 5 videos, each are all static.
Right.
But this is different. Okay, this is different.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No.
I didn't even read.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah. That's funny as hell. But go ahead, finish reading it though.
So it says a guy finds a random YouTube channel, just 5 videos. Each one is just static. But if you really focus, you start to see something in the background, like something watching you. One night, it leaves a comment. A few hours later, the channel uploads a 6th video. A video of his bedroom.
Oh, man. That's bad.
So you're watching the video, and then all of a sudden the uploader uploads video of you.
Yeah, you see? But now that reminds me of Creep Show.
Like, yeah.
That was like Creep Show had an episode like that.
Yeah, that's bad shit, man.
Yeah, dude, see? But again, that's that horror stuff.
That's the stuff that people get off on, man.
Yeah, man.
Get off on that crap.
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to see none of it. Okay.
Well, what about this guy who said he claimed, the guy who claimed that he saw his reflection blink out of sync one night, and from that moment on, he swore his reflection would watch him.
Ooh.
When he wasn't looking directly at it, eventually he covered all the mirrors in the house, and one day, the post he finally put up, he said, it got out.
Yeah.
That was the only thing he wrote.
Right. You see? So it's
so
like...
what do you mean it
right.
got
yeah.
out?
Imagine brushing your teeth and seeing a reflection.
Right.
It's just watching you and copying.
So the same
hard pass.
Right. That's what hell yeah. So I'm like, yo, turn that mirror around. Listen, I know what my hair is. I'm not just going to do it like that myself. I'm not playing with that shit. Dude, are you kidding me? But see, now I'm going to tell you a funny. When I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, right, and it's dark, I won't turn the light on, because it's dark. I don't feel like this, like having I
don't turn the light on, and I go right in the bathroom.
But I don't look in the mirror because I'm afraid that I'm going to see that crazy reflection in the mirror. So with that's the rabbit hole, bro. Because then
you believe in something. There's something that you feel that might actually be bad if you did.
Yeah. Yeah, because think about when you used to do Candyman, make people look, in the mirror like the movie.
Right.
Candyman.
No,
Candyman.
don't do it.
Oh, no, I didn't
don't do it. Don't do it.
Beetlejuice.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just saying.
You know what? I just realized that.
Right.
Beetlejuice and Candyman operate on the same rule.
Which is what?
You have to say the name 3 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good.
You know what? See, just to let you in my world a little bit, I use ChatGPT to write alternate stories.
Right.
Just for fun. Because for entertainment, instead of like reading a story, why not make it interactive and like help write a story?
Right.
So I'm going to write a story that links those two together.
Yeah.
Candyman and Beetlejuice.
But there's Bloody Mary too.
Universe.
Was it?
All right, let's see what happens.
Was it Bloody Mary was the other one?
Oh, Bloody Mary.
All
3 of them.
All 3 of them. Yeah. And you got to do that. Dude, I'm telling you, man. But it's just crazy how our mind works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And how
But it's a coincidence, huh? Not really that all 3 of those movies do the same thing.
What?
Whoa,
What you said. 3 times you had to say their name 3 times in a row.
Well, how deep do you want to get into the rabbit hole?
Well, that's the whole thing. Now you're going in the direction of it. You're
how
like,
deep do you want to go?
3 times? And why is it that 3 movies did the same thing, but they just used different names?
Right. So you ready? You ready? Is that?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. That was good. The eyes too, bro. That was good.
Yeah.
Because it's the numbers. So that the numbers, I remember I'm be lying if I told you 100%, but like the 3 is that Trinity.
Okay.
So that then, the number 3 is like the number. It's the
ABC.
the base number. Yeah. Right. Like for you to turn around and for you to find the meaning of life and the third eye. Like it's supposed to be like 3 is the number.
I get it. No, I get it.
So then that's probably
but I'm
why
saying
you
can
say
look
it 3
into,
times.
That's what I'm saying to you. I was saying I could think of all the things that could come up. And who would say this or say that in regards to it because that's, well, let's see, 3 times, 3 different films, did the same exact thing, different story.
Same idea.
Still a horror variant, though. One was a comedy at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Except for the other 2. The other 2 were horror.
Because Freddy wasn't like that.
Freddy was
a whole song and a thing. But no, that's craziness.
Buckle your shoe, 3, 4.
Yeah.
This is just me doing, my... But, it'd be cool if, characters can jump to different cinematic universes.
They do that.
Can you imagine if Beetlejuice jumped to the Candyman one and now he's like a
villain.
Yeah,
like a real villain.
Yeah.
Like a scary Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Well, look at what they did with Jason and Freddy. Did you see when the Jason versus Freddy?
Like instead of how it was
unfortunately, yes, I did see it.
Unfortunately. But the scary scene in Beetlejuice when the banister turns into the rail.
Right.
In a real horror movie.
Yes.
It turns into it and eats her and kills her.
Right.
Yeah, bro. That would be insane. Right. But they did that with Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
They made, and they did, and it was
they jumped genres, right?
Yep, and Popeye the Slayer.
Right, Popeye the Slayer. That's right.
That was, so they did a couple of those things, man. Yep. Like there was another story.
People do the crossovers. They do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So another story was an office worker sees the elevator stop at the 4th floor, but the building only has 3. One night, curiosity wins. They pry the doors open at 4, and there's a hallway, dim and overgrown, like it's been there for decades. Smells like something died. They step in, take a few pictures, and then disappear. So it's one of those things. It's like the 13th
if
floor.
I'm not mistaken, the only thing they found was a phone that was left behind on that one.
There you go. So
imagine that. That was the only thing they found. I was telling about that one.
See, dude, that gives me the chills thinking about that, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, because but that's the same thing with the 13th floor.
Did you ever see that video they used to have on Halloween? It was pretty creepy where the guy's pacing back and forth, and an elevator door opens up. Person gets out, and that person runs in real quick and leaves that person in their place. Now they finally get out because they've been up there that whole time waiting for somebody to come up so they can get on the elevator and get out of there because they've been stuck in purgatory.
No way. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and that person now has to deal with it and figure out the same thing for themselves and go through what they went through.
Nizzo.
Like it gets passed on.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
If that's where they took sorry, I'm thinking Matrix again. I wonder if
it's on here, bro. Well, Matrix.
If that's where they got the idea for the train station.
Ooh, right. Because that's right. Because when Neo was trying to get back, what was the name?
The family was there.
The family was there, and because he was looking for the key maker.
Right, the key maker.
Well, he was in the train station.
He was in limbo. Yeah,
somehow he stopped the machines in the real world.
Yeah,
and then he went to a coma, and then he woke up in the train station.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, and now he's in limbo. He can't figure out how to get out.
He couldn't get out of there, whatever.
He couldn't get out of there. He was stuck, like he was in purgatory almost.
Right, and then that's when Morpheus and Trinity and them came and they find him because they had gone to the engineer.
And then they go get the key maker.
Yeah. We might be a little off. It was a while since we saw that movie, but yeah.
Was that one later, though?
No, that was number 3.
Right. So
the end of the first.
Those were good movies. I have to sit down and watch them again.
That was a great. But and that's exactly what you guys just said. That's the perfect example of that rabbit hole, bro. All the things that you can do. Like, think about it. If we're in the Matrix right now, and we let all inhibitions go, as far as being able to fly or to do those crazy jumps or whatever, bro, you know what I mean? Like that would be insane. Would we be able? Is that really what the third eye is? Like people who do that meditation, that's the third eye.
If you can tap into your third eye,
you can do anything.
Pretty much,
you're hacking the Matrix,
right? Exactly.
You're gonna be tapped.
Because
that's that's the funny thing too about the Matrix is they were all hackers. Like Trinity was a hacker, Neo was a hacker, Morpheus was a hacker, and when he but so does that mean that you have to be a hacker and understand how to hack the Matrix when you do go in the real world?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's the only reason why I'm mad. I'm not a coder or I'm not a hacker
hacking the Matrix.
I want to look for Morpheus and Neo and Trinity and dozer and stuff. Like I would love to be able to go do it.
We should do an episode on like the whole theory of like the Matrix.
I'm down with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stay tuned, everyone.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's good. That's coming. That's coming.
It'll be more for us.
But now, what's this one now? I bug out because see, this is the creepy shit that I don't even know if I would even really open a door for this stuff. The kid with no eyelids?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Bro, listen.
Read that.
So look.
That is off the hook.
In the middle of the night, a woman hears a knock. 2 kids are outside asking to use the phone. She says no, but glances again and notices they have no eyelids. Just wide, unblinking, wet eyes. They don't leave. They stand outside until sunrise. And every night for the next week, they come back.
Why are creepy kids always the worst part of this
story? Because kids are fucking creepy, bro.
They are, bro. Man. They can be really creepy.
Yeah, look, you gave me the chills again.
Because people make them creepy, bro. That's why.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's
2 kids.
Oh, God.
What about the maintenance hatch?
What was the maintenance hatch? No, I didn't read the maintenance hatch one.
That's a good ahead. One. The guy moved into a place and noticed a metal latch under the bed frame. When he opened it, it led to a small crawl space with a strange childlike drawings on the wall and a voice recording that said, "Only, I never left." He posted photos, then deleted the account.
What?
He was like,
see, look, that's straight up. That's straight up.
That's sick. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Listen, if there's a latch under my bed when I move into something, I'm not laying there.
No, bro. I'm not laying there. I'm not opening the fucking latch. No.
Why would I open
Why would they do that?
Because people are oblivious to shit sometimes, and they just go, well, what could it be? So they go in.
See, so now, but is there a limit to the curiosity for you?
Well, I think it's your you're taking on the responsibility to do that. You're going full out. Mm-hmm. See, I'm going in there. I'm going to check it out. That's on you, man.
Yeah, no. How about for you? Would there be a limit to your curiosity in a case like that?
I don't think I would go in there.
Like, boom, let's just say for, conversation.
If you had a police present all in there with me with guns blazing.
Well, I mean, so like here, let's just say like right now we have here on our background and we know that if we turn around and we touch, this part of this building that is going to open up this door. We just happen to find it. I'm like, right now I'm messing around like, and I touched it. Now
like
it opens
Indiana
up.
Jones kind of stuff.
Right. Now it opens up and it's like, yeah.
Like you hear like,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The foundation is
like everything's just moving and whatnot.
Finish your point.
The light goes on and down the hallway. Are you walking in there?
No.
But see, would you walk in there?
No.
I have ADHD. I'd probably go right
there. So now, here's my thing.
Hey,
right?
What's this?
Right. So for me,
check it out.
This is cool.
To see.
No, please don't go in there.
I would walk in if it's concrete.
Be fucking epic.
Right.
Yeah. Say that again.
If it's a concrete like hallway, floor wall, because we're underground right now. Right. We're in the basement. So now, if it looked like it was concrete, I would walk. I would do it. I would go with you, and I tell you, just keep the phone on in case we're going to need or get a rope while we walk down, because it's concrete.
I would grab you first, give you a hug and say, bro, I love you.
And then he would close the door on us.
No. It was good times. Bro.
Yeah. No, I would do it. That's only, so it depends. It would all depend. If it's concrete, that it looks like it's a hallway, that it was man-made, right? That it looks like it's man-made, I would go and do it.
And you know what? If it looks ancient, that means it's not going nowhere. It survived.
Well, it survived that, but but I'm saying I'm not going down there to find out if it was something ancient like that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go to, because I like archaeology. Right. I like going to the pyramids and stuff like that. Yeah. Once in Mexico, I went to those. Those were really cool to go to and look at and see how they were built and everything.
Right.
You couldn't climb on them or anything like that. But it was just to see that stuff was...
Yeah,
like,
I get it. And that's awesome. But time out. So you wouldn't walk down the hallway if your wall here...
Because for me, it's like somebody put this here. I don't necessarily know they're good people. So I think I will go with you.
But you went on a ghost walk, bro. On a ghost hunt.
It's different, bro. It's ghosts. These are real people who build a tunnel to go to a certain place.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
They have a job that they need to complete, obviously. They're focused in, you know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
So I don't know if it's good or bad. So I'm like, you know what?
I'll give you that.
But good, go home.
See, I would walk down to see what it is because, like I said, I want to know now because it's man-made. So I want to know how far this thing goes down.
But it meant if I had to save somebody, maybe I would.
Yeah. Well, then you know what? You're going to have to come into some save me and Tom because,
No, I'm going to tell you right to your face. Listen, bro, you did the shit to yourself. So listen, know this now. I'm not coming in. So you motherfuckers are done. All right? I love you, but that's it.
That would be cool.
That's it. That relationship's over.
Hit the button and close the door. Yeah. That's great.
Or what about if it was like something wacky? Like what movie was that? Being John Malkovich with the half floor. Did you
dude, was that freaking great?
Something like that. That's something yet.
Yeah, like what happens if like you just like found like this hidden like floor in between your house and it was just like another version, like it was other rooms that like hadn't been occupied yet, but they were half floors.
Yeah,
half floors.
Would you go in there? Like,
creepy. Half floors are creepy,
and you're in John Malkovich's head, bro.
Half floors are creepy.
Half floors. Well, like we said, I started to say before, with the other one,
like maybe in between your first and second floor, there's a half floor.
There's a half floor, bro. Dude, I'm just saying. If now the Munsters. Wasn't it the Munsters that their stairs opened up and that's where they had their pet
thing,
dragon or whatever?
No,
it wasn't Thing. Thing was the
other thing.
Yeah, it was the dragon. I can't remember the dragon, but it was their pet. They were throwing like brontosaurus.
Now we gotta look it up because I should know this.
You know what I mean? Like Tom's looking it up now. Yeah.
You're looking it up, Tom?
You're looking it up now.
What was the name of the pet dragon in the Munsters?
Uh-oh. He hears it in his ear. Spot. That's right. Spot. Well, there you go. But that would be like, would that be considered a half floor? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with you.
But the stairs opened all the way up.
Well, yeah.
And he came out and just kind of threw out a flame.
But they still had a basement. They still had a basement. They had that floor that was in the stairs, and then they had...
It definitely went somewhere else because that dragon didn't room,
exactamundo. You know? And like you said, the John Malkovich, the fourth floor that we...
They talk about that in this show as well.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what happens if like you found something that was like weird, but it wasn't scary? Like scary would be like...
I would have to get somebody to go with me. I think going by yourself would be stupid. I think you
definitely.
Listen,
we're like,
we got to go with
it wasn't unsafe, but you're like, this is
he went in there.
This is kind of strange.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go in there and check this shit out. Well, and the 13th floor. So buildings.
This sounds strange.
The accent, you like that, right? So you have buildings that they have 100 floors, but they don't open up the 13th floor.
Right.
It's 12, 14,
and he
15,
gets off the
16.
right. And he gets off on the 14th. The story, right?
No, the fourth floor is the story.
Oh, the fourth floor. I should say.
Right.
In that case, it's the same thing, right? They
right.
Get off.
Exactly.
They look at you. Wait a minute. This floor is all decrepit. Things are growing.
No, I'm good.
It don't look like it's nice in here.
I'm good.
No.
I'm not doing that shit.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
No, don't go down. Can I crawl underneath? Can I go under?
Yeah.
I'm getting out of that bitch.
Like I'm saying, like I'm not trying to go to the fourth floor. Fuck that shit. But now, what about like the Bermuda Triangle? Because people go in, they see something, you know, like the theory is that they see like little storms or whatever.
They've been finding some stuff. Planes that were going missing.
Yeah. Oh, they found a couple because they're still missing the one that the Air Force guys, the fighter jet.
You know what they have? They do have one.
They say it's some
plausible
kind of
theory
magnetic
with the ships. Not, I don't know about the
planes,
airplanes,
right?
The ships that sink, that they just disappear.
Yeah, go ahead. What you hear?
They're like tidal waves.
They say
instant tidal waves.
Nope.
In that spot of the Caribbean, or wherever, well, it's not really the Caribbean, but that spot of the Atlantic Ocean, where the Caribbean and Atlantic Ocean kind of meet.
Yep.
There's a lot of gases that release.
Yes, sir.
And they release all at once.
Yep.
And what happens is it sinks the ship because there's no buiancy.
Exactly.
It's all gas coming through.
Yep.
It's like...
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, so like if
that's pretty freaking
let me
crazy.
just explain this to you. If you had a pool, right, and it was filled with seltzer water, it was filled with like seltzer water,
right,
you'd probably drown.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's harder to stay up because
I didn't know that.
Or the air bubbles.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that he said. Said then now the problem is that
so these things will come up and a ship will it'll swallow a ship.
Yep. Or it takes
a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Remember when we were kids? I don't know if you did
it looks like they disappeared.
Right. Yep. Yeah, and then the thing is that it goes down
like centuries later they find the damn thing.
Well, no, because they don't find it where it went down.
Maybe it moved somewhere else.
Because it gets caught in the currents. Because the air pocket the air bubbles come up.
Yeah.
It goes down. So let's just say it goes down
the current
50
takes
feet,
it.
And the current takes it, and now it's stuck. Now in that
or
current.
it gets jammed, or it's going in that, it's just moving.
Yep, that's the same thing that happened with the Titanic. When the Titanic sunk, or started to sink, it broke.
Yeah.
So when it broke,
the bigger part or the smaller part
went further off. So then it because it lost the buoyancy because of how it went down, but it got caught in that current.
Vice versa.
And it went down. It was so they know that it fell here, but where they found it was like 3 or 5 miles, whatever it was, further down.
Remember when you were kids?
Or it broke off before the other one sank or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah.
My friends and I used to hang out. We would say stupid shit like, yo, if an alien landed right here, man, I get on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was 14 years old. He would say stupid shit like that.
Right.
My friends, remember when you were saying that?
Yeah.
Because we didn't give a fuck.
Right.
We didn't know then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, yeah, no, we're going on.
Right.
Yo, bring the weed with us, bro. Like, my friend's like, yo, we're going to... Like, all right, bro.
Yeah. You know? But would you get on?
Well, back then I said I would. I don't know if... I would rather... It depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
All right. How about you? What do you think?
Same circumstance. Now I wouldn't.
Yeah.
When I was younger and didn't have much to lose.
You didn't care.
Yeah.
I'll get on that bitch.
Yeah. What do I got to lose?
Yeah.
Chances, because now it's like, okay, like if they're coming down, they haven't tried to kill me yet.
Right.
They're probably not going to hurt me.
Right.
But like, what's if they do? So I don't want to fuck around and
that's
find
that
out.
what if.
You know what I mean?
Do you want to?
When you're younger, you're like, oh, I could fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I could find. Yeah, I could fuck around and find out. Yeah, next thing you know,
They won't know if I listen.
But now, for me now, so as a kid, I would have been like, I want to at least talk to them. I want to be able to speak like, what are you guys doing? Like, welcome, like, what's up? And then now I would still want to talk to them. I don't know if I would never thought about getting in the spaceship. I mean, we made the jokes.
I'm good.
After watching the 3:00 movie, the Kung Fu flick.
Show me pictures of what it looks like inside.
Yeah. Show me on your phone. I just want to see it. So scroll through the pictures. Yeah. No. I don't know. I don't know if I would get on now, but that would be kind of groovy. I would want to talk to them though. Like I wouldn't run from the aliens. Yeah. I would want to talk. First.
Be interesting.
I'd be the
That's for sure, man.
Yeah, I'd be
blow your freaking mind. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That shit would blow my mind.
Yep. And what was this one, man? Number station in the Wi-Fi. Someone scanned the local Wi-Fi signals in a rural area and found one with no name, just numbers. When they connected, it played static and creepy voices through their laptop speakers, even though the volume was muted. The voices kept repeating their names and birth date.
They didn't delete it?
Oh, shit, which they never typed in.
Oh, motherfucker.
You see? Yeah,
but your stalker is also a hacker.
Yeah.
You need to delete whatever and wipe that thing out. Do something.
Right, but now
someone needs to write a movie like that. A stalker who's a hacker.
Ooh,
but they've done stories like that before, though. Not to shoot down your idea,
like
or anything like that.
Who could, like hack into like.
Listen, if we were going to have that happen, it would have happened already. You know what I mean? Like, I wish it could happen. I wish there was somebody. That they could do that. If someone was doing it for good, of course.
Yeah. Well, would that be called like a catfish?
You know what I mean? He knows shit so well that he's not going to get caught.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Activists do that,
Mm-hmm.
Now, my boy right here do it.
Yeah, this guy, yeah.
Russo friend.
Yep. But I mean, now think about it, though.
What is he from again? Where's that from?
No toys for you in the podcast.
It was.
I love it.
It was the. Oh, come on, man! It was the one with the Rock. It was a Hawaiian movie. It was.
Yes. I forget the name.
I can't remember them. My granddaughter loves that movie. So is my grandson.
Did the sequel. They just did the sequel.
Thank you,
Moana.
That's the one.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. I should know that.
Yeah. See, and Lou from the rabbit hole.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible man.
And
terrible person.
Stuck on that shit.
Man, fuck
you. Yeah. No, but see, so now isn't that basically what is the REM pods when you're doing the ghost hunts? You have sound, and it's going through the different channels, and you're supposed to get the voices of the ghosts or the spirits.
Right.
So same idea. You're getting the voices of the spirits.
You're getting it back, right? Now your things are, somebody's just tapped into your thing now. You're just starting playing creepy shit.
Yeah.
Because if it is a real deal, you better get rid of that damn thing quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're getting something that you think is coming from someplace and it doesn't feel right.
Well,
if it doesn't feel right, go with that feeling. Get rid of it immediately.
Right. But see, that's my shit though too. Don't do so. Like right now, we're doing this podcast. People are listening and watching it, I hope. So now don't go and like do this shit if you really don't want to know.
Right, exactly.
You get me?
Right.
Like don't
mess with it.
Yeah.
Don't get involved in it. But it's interesting though, because when you find out all about these crazy stories and these things people went through, it's interesting. It really is,
Mm-hmm.
Some of the videos, they're on Instagram. We follow them, by the way.
Right.
Okay. And that stuff that in video that they have, just in video, and when you see, is super creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this one video where this man was putting I believe it was his mother to bed.
Mm-hmm.
She lay down. He walked out of the room. She got up, sat on the bed, and just sat there.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Was my my response when I saw that. Then she got up and walked past the camera in the other direction.
No, dude.
Then the next thing you know, he comes in, he looks, checks something. She's not there. He doesn't even whatever. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I see this person crawling on the floor from the other side, crawling on the floor like a spider almost to the camera.
Yeah, you see.
It was like, yo, I'm done. I'm done.
No,
Click,
bro. Listen.
off.
Yeah, no.
Not for me. No,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah, no. See, so now dig it. It says, why we love... no, fuck that. I'm bugging. So, why we love the weird. So, dive into why we're drawn to this type of content. Now, curiosity, I believe, is what killed the cat. You know what I mean? Curiosity killed the cat.
And I think it's just human for you to expand your mind and say, what if this was possible? Or this could happen.
When
they finally break the speed of sound.
Right.
I mean, speed of light.
Right.
Of course, you can't break the speed of light. They said that about the speed of sound, and they broke the speed of sound. So eventually, they will break the speed of sound.
Yes.
But it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be where they actually goes faster, but I think it's more like a doorway versus traveling. In other words, you're able to just open a place and go to a place.
Well, so then...
That's how I think aliens get hit. Honestly, that's the way I think. I don't think they're traveling.
Right.
If they can travel through space, then they probably do.
If we can travel...
But if they want to go through a far place, they could probably just go, bang right into a place with no...
Yeah, right. Bend the space-time.
Right, boom. Just fold it together and you're there.
So, go ahead.
But I think we will probably get to light speed at some time, at some point. But I wonder what that's going to be like, because we didn't. The sonic boom. Did we predict? Did we know about the sonic boom?
We're working on boom.
You know what I'm saying? When a sonic boom happens, when you break the speed, boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So something's going to happen when you get to light speed. When you break the speed of light,
right?
Because something's going to happen. What is it going to?
You'll be at the top speed.
You're not going to.
You'll be at the top speed.
Vision going to look like?
Right. Everything's
it's going to look.
I'll say it right now. We already know this. You're going to be younger. I know
they tried predicting it in
you would be younger.
Star Wars.
The people behind you
getting older
are older, and
what I'm saying is,
you haven't aged.
You're traveling at light speed in a spaceship,
right? What are you seeing?
Is it going to look like Star Wars? Is just going to be lines?
Yeah,
because you're going to be faster than the speed of light, or is it just going to go black?
It's going to be like.
I mean, you're not going to go because you're moving.
We're still actually having this conversation of what it's going to look like. Really?
So that then now, but it's going to do like. It's going to look like Spaceballs. So we're going to go plaid.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
No, well, I mean,
what the fuck was that thing?
Yeah. No, I'm still trying to calculate in my head what it's going to look like.
All right,
because you're moving faster than light.
I would think that you would come. I think yes, you might be right. I think
you would be able to actually see the beams of light.
You would actually be in the same speed as light, so you wouldn't really. You would be. Side by side. You would be side by side of light or behind you.
I don't think it would be streaks. I think it would be like the spots.
You won't see anything anymore.
Because
it'll be it'll be on the side of you.
Well, no, because you're going.
What about you?
We just fell into the fucking rabbit hole, guys.
No, but I'm saying if you catch up to the speed of light, you're catching up to where the speed of light goes.
That's only if you're projecting your own light.
If you catch up to it, you're even. You're going to see just what's next to you.
I just realized something. That only applies to like headlights. You're projecting your own light, so you won't be able to see it
because of headlights.
But when you're traveling in space and the sun is behind you, the sun is your light.
Right.
So if you're traveling at light speed away from the sun, you're not going to not see light because the light already exists.
Right.
Of course.
It's not like it just turned on and you know what I mean?
I'm going to have to say
the cool part will be
you will catch up to it.
No. If someone maybe like 5 seconds before you go to light speed turns on a light, you can actually maybe see past the light. That would be cool.
The beam moving forward
or moving closer.
Passing
it up. That would be fucking cool.
That would be groovy. But see, I'm going to say why I think
you
differently.
guys are whacked. Okay.
Oh, no, but see, now here's where it's different. When we look out into space, we see stars. So we see other light.
Yeah.
So now if we're moving at light speed,
right?
That light is there. We're going towards it. So then we're going to see the spots of the other stars in the universe because it's like crisscrossing.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
So then we might see the beam of light, if you will, and we'll see the crisscross if it's even a beam, because it's a star. So it's not just a beam like out of your flashlight. It's a big planetary-sized beam of light. That's how I'm looking at it, which would then why everything would look plaid.
Right.
Yeah. It's ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed.
You know what I mean? I mean, not for nothing. To be able to
gone to plaid.
Yeah.
Well, no,
exactly. Go ahead. What you got to do?
What would space look like if I was traveling at the speed of light?
Oh, that's going to be bananas. That would be crazy. I'm down to find out, though. I like driving fast. Just saying.
Traveling at the speed of light would be mind-bending. From your perspective, space would appear to contract along the direction you're traveling, and distances would shrink to almost nothing. Light from stars ahead of you would blue shift and become intensely bright, while the view behind you would redshift and fade away. It would be like seeing the universe compressed into a bright, narrow tunnel right in front of you. Pretty wild to imagine, huh?
That would be crazy.
So it would be
that's like Star Wars.
It would be like Star Wars.
The tunnel, you know how like when they're going and it's
right. Yep. See? So it would probably
Same
look
as Star
like that.
Trek.
But then now
Those guys take off. They're in their own zone.
Yeah. I love how that's actually based in like
same ideas
in like actual scientific theory.
So now, but wait,
I love that.
What if a black hole isn't as detrimental to our health as is?
They find them in the different universes and stuff.
Well, so what if it's that it's actually a wormhole? And it just sucks you in.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Like because that's how you get it.
You'll break up.
We don't. But that's the assumption. What if it really doesn't?
What if it's not pressurized?
Right.
Like it is. They're just basing that off of all these calculations.
You know how fast that thing is moving?
Well, that's the whole thing, though. So if it's moving that fast, it's already shooting things. But that's
sucking in like a vacuum.
But here's the thing that I think someone pointed out before. You know, like when you hear the term asteroid field, right away we think to Hollywood.
Yes.
An asteroid field, they're like planets apart.
Right.
They're not. They're
not like 10 or 20 feet next to each other.
They're like as far as we are to the further than the moon.
Right.
So like when asteroids actually collide, it's like a major event because it never happens.
Yeah, like the ones around Saturn.
But it's not like this. So what's if it's the same thing? Like as all these things are getting sucked into the black hole, the chances of them actually colliding are as bad as we think they are.
Right. It's not.
So you just kind of like go through it like.
Yeah.
Without actually getting crushed.
Right. Or you hit it in the right spot where you're just being sucked in the middle.
There are black holes that are so big that it'll take you so many years to get across. That's how big it is.
Yeah. Right.
It's enormous.
Yeah.
But there's time dilation. What's if there's time dilation and it's not?
There you go.
Well, that's that light speed too. That's the
right.
That's the fucked up part. Like,
imagine what it would look like if you were actually able to travel. Oh, let's ask that question.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is
they won't know. They won't know.
That time dilation thing is fucked up. Like at what feels like 10 minutes for you could be 1 minute.
Right.
Actually,
what it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and this is. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
What would space look like if I was traveling faster than the speed of light?
Traveling faster than the speed of light is something that current physics says isn't possible for anything with mass. But if we imagine it hypothetically, the concept of space and time would get really weird. Distances would become imaginary in a mathematical sense, and the causal structure of the universe would break down. You'd essentially be outrunning light itself, so the universe in front of you might appear pitch black, since no new light would reach you. Behind...
I know you think so.
That's all right. We don't need to do the rest. You know what I do? I hit the mute button whenever
I just figured that
out. Yeah.
But then you got to remember to...
Bye.
But see, look at that. We just fell into the craziest rabbit hole. We fell into the space rabbit hole.
We just had a rabbit. Folks, we just had a rabbit hole.
We had our own time. We got into a topic and we just were like, what?
And I'm still thinking about it. I'm stuck now.
Yeah.
Because now I'm thinking that whole time dilation thing, which is where like you are... I actually explained it backwards, where like say you're going what feels like a minute for you has passed in real life like 10 minutes.
Right. Okay.
Or like they kind of explain that in the movie. What's that movie with? What's his name? All right. What movie was that?
Yeah, that he went to go find. Yeah, I forgot the name of it. I know you're talking about.
And he was still young when he came back.
Yeah. And like he was talking to them in video, and he was still young.
Passed, everybody was old.
Yeah, he saw his daughter. She was an old lady already. She was in a hospital or something.
Yep.
I don't know why the planets had time dilation. I don't know if they explained that because they weren't moving like light.
There was one
speed or
planet,
something.
right, that you aged like super fast.
Yeah, like they were there for like an hour. They were there for like 15 minutes and like 20 years passed by.
Right.
So 15 years passed by.
Yeah.
We need to leave.
Yeah.
Like every minute was like a year or
some shit like that. Yeah.
That's crazy. So it's not like, I think what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to open up certain area, be able to bend space in a way where they're able to, so they can get to where they are.
Right.
Like we were saying, point A to point B.
Right.
And just put it together. They'll be able to travel that way. It won't be in our lifetime. That's for sure.
I think we have a lot of theories of what space is like from our point of view, of the universe, what we can see.
Right.
But like, I think if we actually were to explore it, I think things would test our view of reality.
Well, I mean,
like that time dilation thing would apply. Like, I think there's things that would be like, that doesn't make any sense. What's going on here? Up is down is up, left is right, blue is black is red is green. Things just like that don't make any sense.
Right.
But because we think it's going to be a certain way because we look at it from our point of the universe. When we actually get there, maybe it's not what we
right.
It is.
Yeah, because we're that kind of narrow.
That's why I think the time thing is what's going to they're going to be able to cut that out where they'll be able to fold. They'll know how to hold. I'm telling you, something's going to happen where they were able to figure it out that you could just go and travel. Maybe you do it. I don't know. Maybe they won't.
Right.
Like I said, see, if they would just make me a cyborg now, I'd be up to just.
Right.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
But if you wait till then, you'll be a better cyborg.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's all cool. And like I said, now everybody just witnessed us go down the space-time continuum.
We got one more.
Rabbit hole.
One more. I spent 12 years in a room that doesn't exist.
Huh?
A long post from someone who woke up in a white, windowless room and no doors, a sense of time. They claim food appeared and they just, no memory of how they got there. Eventually accepted, only to realize they hadn't aged and no time had passed. In the real world, people thought it was part of a larger experiment or time loop.
So like you're stuck in this thing for like almost ever, and then all of a sudden,
12 years.
He
said 12 years.
Life, and, like no time has passed.
Yeah,
but
you
literally spent 12 years in a box.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden,
you're
like no time. Like right now, like I just came back.
Is that what a coma is? Ooh.
No, but I'm saying like just sitting here right now, all of a sudden and all of a sudden you come back.
Yeah.
Like, like a coma. Oh.
Right. So in your head, in your mind, you're mental, you're asleep. And people see you asleep. You're in a coma. Your mind is knocked out. So then what happens? Now you see yourself in a room.
I don't know.
That might be it.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I might go barking.
They're probably getting ready to go outside. Yeah, food's here. But,
that's right.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be that time.
Yes. So with that, guys,
we're going to go chow down.
Yes. So thank everybody for listening, watching, and bugging out. And you can laugh at us going down the rabbit hole of space. Appreciate
I don't care.
It. Yeah. And I hope this gives everybody thought, like just to sit
I'll
back
be
and
back.
Whoa, come up with some new stuff.
Yeah.
Come up with some new ideas, some new other things for the, rabbit hole ideas that you may have. Yeah, that'd be fun. So, listen, like, follow, all the other good stuff. So, love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go big.
Holla.